Ask you a controversial question. What is the toughest decision that you've had to take as an HR professional? HRs are the people who hire and fire. So is that the toughest thing when you've had to fire a lot of people?
So you see, one is, I first of all, I don't believe that we are to be hired and fired. Because there's a lot of stuff that you do. What HR does is you actually deal and influence the minds of people. Influencing minds and getting people to do what the organization needs to do is what the role of HR is.
I think
If you want to be lucky, then you've got to manage all of them. Then you'll be lucky.
Then you're lucky.
Yes.
And then you'll get the right job, and then you'll get the right.
Absolutely.
Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of the Chai Pe Career podcast. And today my guest is none other than Mr. Ranjan Banerjee. He is the CHRO of Berger Paints. Berger Paints is a 10,000 crore company, and Mr. Banerjee has an illustrious career in human resources which spans over 30 years. So we know that there are many of you who want to enter the field of human resources, and we thought, why not get one of the most renowned experts in this field who can tell us about his career, how it started, and how it has progressed to where he has reached today. So over to you, Mr. Banerjee. Thank you so much, first of all, for agreeing to be part of the podcast. There are many young people who will be listening in today. I want to go back in time to how it all started. How was your education like, and did you plan on entering HR, or did it happen by accident?
So, I had my schooling in Sikkim, in the hills of Sikkim. And then my graduation from Xavier's College, Calcutta. And then I spent some time trying to get into UPSC, to the civil services. And I kind of spent 2 years trying my best, but then I found that it's going to be a long haul. So then I saw an advertisement in Vishwabharati University saying they had a course called Masters in Social Welfare, Masters in Social Work, and there was a specialization in HR. And I did have a keen interest in HR because my father, who used to be a principal of schools, had been a principal of a lot of company schools as well. And I used to witness a lot of things in their manufacturing establishments, and that brought in a lot of interest in me that I kind of developed on HR. And then I said, okay, this seems to be a good idea. Let me give it a shot. So I went in there, spent 2 years, did my masters, and during my masters, I got a campus internship in the Aditya Birla Group's cement business. That was way off in a godforsaken place called Jawad in Madhya Pradesh, a remote corner.
And was that in HR?
That was in HR.
Okay.
So that was an internship in HR, and I did a 2-month internship there. And that was very interesting. And that particular establishment was going through a lot of transformation work in HR. And we had Professor Uday Parikh and TV Rao coming in and doing a lot of stuff there. So I was party to that as well. And that was, I think, the foundation pillar. And then I got a campus offer from Aditya Birla Cement business. And I joined them. I spent about 2 years there. Then came down, and the 2 years was in HR. So I was a management trainee in HR, and then I got confirmed, and then I got promoted to senior officer HR. That's how we used to call it those days. A lot of depth of work that was happening there in each of the verticals in HR. And then I had to come down to Calcutta because home calling, and therefore came down, joined Park Hotels, spent some time there, and there I had my first brush with industrial relations, with handling unions, handling labor, and handling a service industry. So there in the service industry is different from a manufacturing setup. Because in a manufacturing setup you are far removed from the consumer. Whereas in the service industry you are right at the doorstep of the consumer. And therefore the entire dynamics changes. So the role of HR also changes. It becomes far more fast-paced. Then went on to a short stint in McDowell's in one of their manufacturing units. And then went on to Bata India. Bata India's largest factory at Bata Nagar, which had around 6,500 employees there. Large campus, a large establishment, a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, and went through the whole host of it, both on the softer part of HR as well as the hardcore employee relations or industrial relations, labor relations, navigating the labor department, learning to navigate the unions, understanding their points of view. So a lot of things came up there, and a lot of intense learning. Then I went on to join ITC and joined the factory at Mongate, which had its printing business and its cigarette manufacturing business. That was another very exciting 5 years. A lot of transformation work happened there because we wanted to position that particular unit from being the number 4 out of the 4 units to number 1 out of the 4 units. And that was the challenge and that was the task. And that was a well accomplished task. Came down to head office, did a corporate role in manpower planning and recruitment, and that's when ITC also sent me for the HR executive program at Michigan University, which was another terrific learning, I must say. That gives you a foundation and catapults you to the next level. Then the ITC stint came to an end. I got an offer from RPG Group. Saregama was the organization which was into entertainment and media. Another very fast-paced, completely different industry. Films, music, entertainment, media publishing, these were the various verticals. At that time, the industry was seeing a lot of digitization efforts coming in. It was just about beginning at that point, at 2006, 2007, 2008. And the mobile revolution had taken off, and a lot of everything coming into the mobile. So the mobile became that one device that you could listen to music, you could listen to theatre, you could listen to watch movies. All of that was happening, and therefore the industry was changing, the dynamics was changing. Therefore, the HR strategy was also bound to change. The people part of the business was changing. Therefore, that was the task at hand, saying, okay, how do you transform the people part of the business, looking at what is happening in the environment, in the industry. That was another 2 years of solid learning and a very enjoyable stint. Had great friends, had great bosses, had a great environment. We built up everything from scratch, and I think that was that gave us a kick. So that's where it was, Saregama India, and then Vodafone came calling. Vodafone had just taken over Hutch, and the merger was happening. So the alignment was happening, and global best practices vis-a-vis entrepreneurial spirit. So more process-driven to more entrepreneurial spirit, that was the merger that was happening. And therefore I took over as the head of East, head of Kolkata, West Bengal and East for I think the students of tomorrow will be well served if they could go through that research document. And
if mind me,
Yes,
where can
sure.
they find this research document?
Yeah, so they can always go in and speak to the Aditya Birla Group, have their own operations, and I'm sure they'll be happy to share the transformation journey. I'm planning to write a book on the transformation journeys across
Various industries,
organizations.
yeah.
And I think this one will also find mention there.
Very interesting.
So I suppose that would be some service that I would be giving back to society. So I think learning across various industry sectors is so crucial because I believe that staying on in one job and getting a hell lot of experience in one job in one organization may not be exactly the right thing to happen in today's changing, evolving, ever-changing, fast-paced manner in which organizations are transforming. It's a very nebulous world. It's a very volatile world. It's a fast-changing world, and you cannot pin your hopes on one or the other forms of strategy or one or the other kind of structure. You've got to learn from across industry. And therefore, I believe talent which moves across industry stands a far better chance of being able to handle volatility and change.
And we can see that you've actually worked in a wide range of.
Yeah, I was lucky to have got those opportunities.
Yes.
And they came in very well timed. Not that I designed the timing at all.
And you were okay to go to Munger,
Yeah,
which
and
is
Calcutta, and then move from telecom to beverages and to shoes, FMCG, and all of that, entertainment and media, and
very interesting.
so that was.
So now I'll ask you a controversial question.
Oh.
What is the toughest decision that you've had to take as an HR professional? And we all know that HRs are the people who hire and fire. So is that the toughest thing when you've had to fire a lot of people, or is there something even tougher than that?
So you see, one is, I first of all, I don't believe that we are able to be hired and fired. Because there's a lot of stuff that you do. What HR does is you actually deal and influence the minds of people. Influencing minds and getting people to do what the organization needs to do is what the role of HR is. Therefore, I think it's not hire and fire, influence minds.
Right.
And influence the psychology of the workforce to get what the organization's objectives are. While you do that, you play the role of understanding what the business needs and what the employee needs, what the society is like, how is it changing and how is it impacting demographics, and therefore what kind of people are coming into your workforce. So that's what you need to prepare. So for example, research says that in the coming 5 years, 66% of your workforce will come in with serious mental health challenges. So now you need to equip your managers within the organization and your leaders within the organization to be able to deal with mental health as a subject. So
are you dealing with it as a priority?
It's not a priority, but that's coming.
Okay.
And the earlier you start learning, engaging, immersing yourself in knowledge of that issue and develop the skills to deal with some of those issues, you will have a lot of challenges in running an organization in years to come. One of the toughest challenges, not asking people to go, but the toughest challenges is to say that, listen, and influencing people to understand that, listen, this was due to be received by you. So for example, a variable pay, which you look forward to at the end of a year, but that depends on business results. And there came a time in one of the organizations I worked for where we had to say no variable pay because the business results just didn't happen. Now, to be able to do that while keeping your workforce engaged and ensure that they appreciated what you said.
Yes, must be tough because
It's
they'll be like,
that's-
I worked hard.
Yeah.
I don't care
So
about the
I don't
business
care about what
performance. Yeah.
happens. I said, how bad is the business performance? How does it impact us? So all of that, understanding those questions, engaging with them, and then influencing them to stay on and look forward to the next year, while this year hasn't been so good. So I think that's one of the most challenging roles that I've had to play in designers.
And in this entire career, did you have a great mentor that you can remember? Because we sometimes want to talk about, how careers are sometimes built or influenced by our mentors.
Yes.
I've been fortunate to have some good mentors. So,
Yes.
would you like to speak about anyone who you think helped you along?
I had terrific mentors. My first boss in Aditya Birla Group was Dr. Onra. Very learned, very deep, had terrific insights. Used to spend time with youngsters to make them understand what you should do in the years to come. How should you build your career? How should you manage dynamics? How should you manage senior people? How should you manage your peers? How should you manage people who report into you? How do you manage boundaries? So the first lesson I received from them was boundary management. So I think that was great. He was one of the finest. I was lucky and fortunate to have had a first boss like him because that set the tone for me for the rest of my life. The second one was a gentleman called Sree, who was the managing director of Sarigama, the entertainment business. A great boss. He knew how to make strategy look so simple. He could understand every aspect of the business and give inputs there. He could bring a team together and enthuse the team. And I remember one of the, and that's how I got to understand how would I be a great leader of people. So we had two offices, and a new office had come up, and there was his room, and there was the CFO's room, and my room was in between. And I was not quite comfortable with the structure of my room. And so I said, I'll operate from the other office. So he said, what's the issue? I said, I'm not very comfortable. He said, don't worry. I keep traveling, and I have that other office. You take my office, and just take it over. And then he forced me into that room. So the question is not giving the room. The question is, he set an example of how you should enthuse your team members and make them feel great. So that's how you make somebody feel so great that the other considerations don't come in the way when you look at developing or when you look at moving from one organization to another. So that's there. Then Aditya Birla, I had a gentleman called Thomas Arby's, a great mentor. I had Shivakumar,
Yes.
a great mentor of mine. So I think there were
Number of them.
and I was fortunate to have encountered each one of them and learned things from each one of them. How to appreciate, how to present, how to enthuse, how to build, how to develop, how to hold people accountable. So a lot of things you get to learn. It's not just the softer parts and the easier parts and the goody parts, but also how to hold people accountable for results,
Performance, yes.
to performance, to standards is a great thing to do.
Absolutely. So I have a question which is a little different because there are many people who want to enter the field of HR. और यहाँ पे we are talking about हमारे it could be from rural India also जो आना चाहते हैं, tier 2, tier 3, the new Bharat, right? क्या उन सबको HR specialized course करना चाहिए to get into this field, or is it that someone who's doing a general degree can also be hired in HR? मतलब क्या specialization important है for getting a job in HR? कि कुछ भी you could be doing anything, but if you have the right skill set and you can prove that in the interview, फिर job मिल सकती है HR में, मतलब क्या है?
See, HR has certain foundation sciences. One is the psychology, which is the science of the mind. Sociology, which is the science of society and how people interact with society. And the third is anthropology, which is the science of human evolution. You need grounding in these three sciences and core HR understanding. And that makes you much more well equipped to handle a role in HR. There's no doubt about that. Yes, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, absolutely, because I believe that the strength of India lies in the tier 3, tier 4 cities and tier 3, tier 4 regions, because they have the drive and the hunger and the commitment to make it big in life. And but there are a lot of stories, a lot of stories of the Taj Mumbai, how the crew, how the team helped navigate that horrifying 26/11. And the poor thing was that they hired from tier 3, tier 4 cities and towns, and therefore they were more committed, they were hungry for success and learning. And I think that's an opportunity which is there. And the new India, the new Bharat, of course, वो है, वो वहीं से आने वाले हैं, वहीं से उभरने वाले हैं, वहीं से वो leadership positions लेने वाले हैं. That's what is going to happen.
और उनको क्या HR specialized course करनी चाहिए?
करनी चाहिए.
वो आप मानते
जो स्पेशलाइज है, जो सीखना है, वो आपको सीखना है, क्योंकि आने के बाद आप सीखोगे. हाँ, वो भी है, आप आ जाओ and then we train you and teach you, but today organizations will not have so much time.
So what are these courses that they need to do? Is it an MBA in HR or any other kind of courses?
You can do MBA in HR, you can do SHRM certifications. So that's important. I think core understanding.
Certifications. Just
SHRM, there are a lot of certifications.
Okay.
You can do those certifications.
Even a certification is fine as long as they've done it.
Yeah, as long as it's a good duration course.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Okay. So if you're interested in HR, I think the clear verdict is कि आपको या तो फिर कोई specialization करनी चाहिए या at least a certification कर लेनी चाहिए.
Specialization करो तो बेहतर.
बेहतर.
बिल्कुल.
Okay. And that is after their graduation. Can they do anything during the graduation itself?
No. After graduation.
So whatever field they are graduating in, that's fine. It doesn't
That's
matter.
right.
They can be engineers, they can be BCom,
Absolutely.
they can be BBA, they can be
Absolutely.
और अब जो ये AI का ज़माना आ गया है and people are seeing that AI, so from a human resources perspective, do you think that lesser people will get hired in the future? ये एक बहुत बड़ी डर है, especially among the youngsters, कि अभी तो नौकरी कम हो जाएगी. So what is your perspective on that from the HR perspective?
See, what is happening in AI and digitalization is that full jobs are not getting knocked off. It's only certain tasks within those jobs which are getting automated. Okay, so the complete job isn't going away. Yes, tasks will go away, some jobs will go, but then digitalization is leading to 30 million more jobs being created in the next 3 to 4 years. So I think there's a big scope, and you have to adapt. You had computers coming in, you changed, you adapted. Life became easier, more people got jobs. It's just that you had to reskill yourself. You had the mobile telephony coming in, a lot of things, sort of got into one and everything into one device. A lot of jobs went away, a lot of jobs got created. So that's there.
And do
A
these
lot of
kids
jobs will go, but a lot of jobs will get created.
अभी there are so many HR tech startups और बहुत सारे tools आ रहे हैं market में. There's a lot of competition. First of all, what is your view on these tools? Are they good? And the second thing is, do the young professionals need to learn? इनको क्या ये tools में भी थोड़ा सा अगर ये करेंगे तो कुछ इनको advantage मिलेगी जब ये आएंगे बोलेंगे मेरे को ये HR tool already पता है. Will that help?
देखिए ऐसा है कि आजकल के बच्चे जो हैं they are coming prepared. So from digitalization, from AI, from that perspective, they are coming in with their own ideas, they've all done something or the other. So they are well versed. What can happen, what can be done faster, what can be done quicker, what can be done more easily, how much of AI can you use. They come in with that knowledge, so there's no issue there. As far as the tech startups are concerned, yes, of course they are good, they should be encouraged and so on and so forth, but they need to get in depth and stabilize their products. A lot of their products are not stable. And I think that's where they have to work. So getting in the right talent, researching and developing their product and stabilizing their product over time is something which they need to invest in and work on.
Yes, and that I think also happens with the funding ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Obviously, मतलब जितना cash strapped होंगे उतना ही उनको
उतना कम होगा and more unstable your product will be.
Right. And as we spoke about mentorship, दो चीजें. If a new professional joins your organization and comes and knocks at your door, are you open to mentoring them? And the second is, अगर कोई HR tech startup आपकी door knock करके बोलते हैं to mentor, are you open to mentoring them?
Absolutely. I think that's my way, and that should be every professional's way of giving back to society. That's something you must do. Because somebody mentored us during our times. You must mentor the others when you get an opportunity.
Okay.
And the other thing is about mentors. You must have good mentors, or you must search and find out and hook yourself to a good mentor or a sponsor. Everybody needs a sponsor.
There's a book on this. Find a sponsor, not a mentor.
Yes, everybody needs a sponsor who has your interests at heart and who will tell you what to do and who will speak for you behind closed doors. And so therefore, if I have the capacity to speak for somebody or some organization or some team for their good work behind closed doors, I will exercise that option.
Right, that's very inspiring, and a lot of people will take away from that. आपके career की कोई embarrassing moment बताइए. Now I'm getting really candid.
Embarrassing moments, I don't remember any one, but there have been plenty of goof-ups that I've done.
Like your boss called you up and said you've done a terrible job at
A
this.
lot of goof-ups have happened. And I've quickly recovered from those.
That's important.
That's what is important.
Yeah.
There have been bosses, a lot of bosses who have been very nice, explained it and given opportunities. There have been bosses who have been toxic also, but I think you need to be able to handle toxic bosses or difficult people, because that is important. Life is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
It is going to be challenging. It is going to be difficult.
और आजकल के बच्चे बहुत रोने लग जाते हैं when they get a bad boss. They think it's
So
their.
they have to be.
That's the mental health issue that everyone is going through.
Life is never going to be easy. It's not going to be fair. Nobody ever said that. And I think the earlier today's children, students, youngsters get used to this, the better. I know that they have their backups today, so they can afford to say, I don't want to work. Or I don't want to work with
But
this
that's
person.
because they're changing jobs. Backup
Right.
तो कुछ और नहीं है, कहीं और चले
I
जाएंगे.
said, no, that's one. The second is their parents have built a financial muscle for them to be able to sustain. But the question is, that won't help them grow. So if they want to grow, then they have to be able to take those challenges. One is to sit in 24 degrees comfort, and the other is to move out in the 48 degrees
Heat.
You have to be able to take both.
And I think you have to also take the criticism and the praise. कभी तो
Absolutely.
criticism ही मिलेगी.
Absolutely.
कुछ गलतियाँ होंगी.
Where leaders go wrong is they don't provide a purpose. You have to provide them with a purpose. You can be tough with them, but you have to provide them with a purpose, and you have to tell them the way, show them the way.
Correct.
That is.
So we didn't get the embarrassing story because you said there are so many.
Many of them. I've goofed up several times, and I've covered up successfully, and I've improved and sprung back successfully as well. That is also.
Right.
But there have been embarrassing moments, of course.
I have to ask you, what is your views on diversity? क्या ये एक चीज़ है which needs to be done because we need these many women in the workforce, or we need these many diverse people in the workforce, or do you think there is a different kind of a value to it?
One is there are 2 or 3 things here. One is because of the girl child, the way where she drops off. So a huge body of talent, source of talent, gets knocked off because they don't go beyond 12th standard, or they don't go beyond graduation, or they drop off mid-career. So I think there's a huge pool of terrific talent which we are not able to dip into. And there is a talent shortage across the globe, and particularly in India. So unless we correct this, and this is a societal imbalance issue, unless we correct this, the talent shortage will only grow in India, and we will find that it's becoming difficult to manage our national ambitions and aspirations. That's one part. The second part is understanding the consumer. So, in which part of your business, or which product, does the woman in the family or the women customers have a bigger role and a bigger say
In the purchasing
in the
of
purchase of that product? So that understanding comes better if you have women talent inside. The moment you make it a number, then it becomes a different game. And I don't think we should make it a number or a quota. It's not like that. You can force it, but it just won't. Rather, if there's understanding, appreciation, and then you slowly build it up. Because you see, the society is also changing. Your education system is changing. The economic liberation in society is also beginning to happen. So, this imbalance of people reaching the workforce, of women reaching the workforce, and sustaining in that workforce, so that you can tap into the talent, is going to take time.
And we cannot have equal numbers on day.
No, you can't have, and I don't think that's the fair way of doing it. It won't work. Where there is a need, it will automatically come. Where there is a need, it will automatically come. You don't have to force it. The system, the structure, the market will force you.
Very, very well said on this point, because बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि अभी इतने कम, there are such few women in this organization and that, but you'll have to also look at what that organization needs from that perspective.
Correct.
Internally. Very well said. Sir, in all of these transformation initiatives that you spoke about, what is the role of technology that you see?
The role of technology plays a very big role in ushering in change. So technology enhances business in terms of quality, speed, and productivity. And therefore, when you bring in that, the old way of doing things has to yield place to the newer way of, and the faster and better and easier way of doing things. Making life simple for the employee and making life simple for the customer is the ultimate goal for technology. And I think, therefore, technology has a big role to play in managing, in ushering in change, And there again, the leadership team and the HR team has a big role to play in getting the workforce ready to accept and adapt to that change.
Yes, and also evaluating the technology.
Of course.
What is
Which one is going to suit you? Which one is going to suit your business?
Yeah.
What is going to make life easier for you? How prepared are you? At which stage of readiness are you?
Yeah.
All that matters.
Right. So we come to the end of the segment where you will have to give a few words directly to the youngsters.
Absolutely.
And I know that you are also part of an association of HR professionals. So a lot of them might also be listening in from the NHRD and also all the aspiring HR professionals. What are the words of wisdom that you will tell them today?
So I think I would like to throw a couple of very simple things for you to do. You know, youngsters, manage your health well, manage your learning well, manage your time well, manage your finances well. And when you do all of this, you will find that your mood is right, you're taking the right calls and the right steps, and you are well prepared. And all of this taken together is what I call luck. There's nothing else, but when you get all of this right, then you're lucky, because things happen. Things happen because you're well prepared. So manage yourself extremely well. And I think that is a key thing that I believe every youngster should ingrain it right from day one of childhood. Manage yourself well. That's it.
Very, very wise words of wisdom. It's very difficult to manage all of those aspects well. I think
If you want to be lucky, then you've got to manage all of them. Then you'll be lucky.
Then you're lucky.
Yes.
And then you'll get the right job, and then you'll get the right breaks and all of that.
Everything will fall in place.
Right. Okay, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Banerjee, for your time and this chat. Hope you enjoyed this episode. See you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.